Hello parents and families. This video is intended to provide you with 13 quick tips to support sleep hygiene for your kids. In other words, it is helping your children build healthy habits to have a good night's rest and sleep so that they can be productive and successful during the day at school and at home. So one of the things that we really want to have an understanding of is for children, preschoolers on average, these are students anywhere between the ages of 3 and 5, need at least 10 to 13 hours of sleep each night. And for school-age children, kids who are between 6 and 13 years old, need at least 9 to 11 hours of sleep per night. And so while there's a lot of tips that I provide in this video, I don't want you to get overwhelmed. It might just be helpful if you choose 1 or 2 strategies to get you started, and sometimes that's just enough. So the first tip is to stick to the same bedtime and wake up at the same time every day, even on the weekends. So children sleep a lot better when they have the same bedtime and wake time every day. And staying up late during the weekends and then trying to catch up on the sleep by sleeping in on the weekends can throw off a child's sleep schedule for several days. Tip number 2, beds are for sleeping. So try to use the bed only for sleeping. When they lie on the bed and do other activities like watching TV or using a tablet or computer, it really makes it hard to train their brain to associate the bed with sleeping. Tip number 3, you want to create a comfy, cozy bedroom for the child. So their bedroom environment should be cool, quiet, comfortable, and free of distractions. Tip number 4, alarm clocks are for waking up. So children who tend to stare at the clock, waiting and hoping to fall asleep, should have their clock turned away from them so that they don't see it. Tip number 5, have a bedtime routine. So predictable series of events should lead up to bedtime. So I have a quick example on the side here. Very simple, Sunday through Saturday, first they brush their teeth, use the potty, wash their hands, take a bath, read a book to calm down, and then turn the lights out and then stay in bed until the morning. And your child can check this off every time he or she completes it so that they feel a sense of accomplishment. Tip number 6, you want to have a quiet, calm, and relaxing activities before bedtime. So some examples might include listening to soft, calming music or reading a story together. You really want to avoid all the excessively stimulating activities before bedtime. So things like watching television, using a tablet, playing video games, or maybe even physical exercise. So we just want to avoid these kinds of extraneous activities to help relax their bodies and train their minds to know, okay, it's ready for bedtime. Tip number 7, you want to teach your children how to relax. So oftentimes it's as simple as, all right, take a few deep, slow breaths and think of positive images like being on a beach. So those are some things you want to be able to teach your children because sometimes they don't know how to relax their bodies. Tip number 8, you want to start the day off right with exercise. So having your children exercise earlier in the day can help them feel more energetic and awake during the day, and sometimes it helps them with focusing as well. And so by the end of the day, when they're getting ready for their bedtime routine, it will help them fall asleep and stay asleep until the next morning. Tip number 9, You want to have your kids avoid caffeine. So that would be anything like soda, chocolate, tea, coffee in the late afternoon and throughout the evening. So it's important to have your kids avoid caffeine. If the kids can't sleep, have them get out of bed. So if they're tossing and turning and they just can't sleep, just have them get out and do something that's not too stimulating. Again, reading a book, listening to calm music, and then they can do that for maybe like 10 to 20 minutes and then have them try again. So this helps, again, train their brains to associate the bed with sleeping and calming activities with sleeping. Tip number 11, you want to put the kids to sleep drowsy but awake. So what that means is you don't want the kids to fall asleep while they're watching TV on the couch. You don't want them to, while they're playing and they get tired and they just kind of roll on the floor and sleep. This again will throw off their minds with thinking, okay, the bed is for sleeping. The normal routine for bedtime is at the end of the day. So you just want to have them sleep while they're put them to sleep while they're still a little drowsy, but they're still somewhat awake. Number 12, you want to have them cuddle up with a stuffed animal or a soft blanket. Sometimes that's a good transition for the kids to have something to hold. And again, that also trains their minds and brains to associate the bedtime routine and soft, fluffy type objects to help them go to sleep. And lastly, tip number 13, bedtime checkups should be short and sweet. So when you check in on a child, the main purpose is to let them know that you're there and that they're all right. And so the brief and less stimulating, the better. Hopefully you found these to be helpful. Good luck, and please reach out if you have any questions. Thank you.